William Blake's poem A Poison Tree is titled as Christian Forbearance in the manuscript of the poem. This poem is aimed against self-restraint. In the poem A Poison Tree, the poet William Blake tries to convey the idea that it is wrong to thwart natural impulses. Suppression brings out the apple of hatred, which eventually threatens all scope for friendship and peace. Welcome back to the channel, friends. In today's video, I am going to explain the poem A Poison Tree composed by William Blake. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. So this is what the speaker is saying, that he was angry with his friend. He was dissatisfied with his friend, and he expressed his anger to his friend. He talked to him about it. He explained why he was angry with his friend. And because he gave vent to his feelings, because he expressed his anger, his wrath, that means his anger, it ended. I was angry with my foe. But such was not the case with his foe. Next, he became angry with his foe. He started hating him. His foe means his enemy, his opponent. I told it not, and because he was not in good terms with his enemy, because he had a difficult relationship with his enemy, he could not tolerate his enemy, and because of this, he failed to express his anger. He kept it bottled up in his heart. So my wrath did grow, and because of this, his anger became bigger and bigger. His anger became more intense. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. The speaker nourished his anger with his fears. He nourished it with his fears. Because the speaker is angry, he was also afraid. He was afraid of being harmed by his opponent, and at the same time, since he was trying to cover up his anger, he was afraid that his opponent could see that he was angry with him. And I watered, he nourished his anger in his fears. So continuously, he was afraid of his foe. He was afraid because he thought that his foe might be able to find out that he was angry with him. Night and morning with my tears, and because he was afraid, he used to cry. He was so and his heart was so full of malice that and because of which he started crying, he started shedding tears. Night and morning with my tears, and I sung it with my smiles and with soft deceitful wiles. At the same time, he brightened his anger with his smiles. He tried to cover up his anger by smiling at his enemy from a distance. And with soft, deceitful means false, fake, wiles, that means tricks. He was deceitful, his look was deceitful, and he was tricky. He was trying to cover up something. What was he trying to cover? He was trying to cover up his anger, his fury with his enemy. But he tried to cover it up with his smiles, with his fake smiles. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright, and my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And it grew. What grew? The anger, the fury of the speaker grew. Both day and night it grew continuously, till it carried an apple bright. So, like a tree which grows and bears fruits, this anger also started growing, and the speaker says that it bore a fruit, an apple, like an apple. And my foe, and from a distance the enemy beheld it shine. The enemy saw it shining. The enemy got attracted by it, and he wanted to steal it, and he knew that it was mine. And the enemy also hated his foe. He also hated the speaker, and he knew that the apple belonged to the speaker, and he wanted to steal it. And into my garden stole when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. And into my garden stole, and into this venomous garden of the speaker, the enemy, he walked in quietly in the silence of the night, when the night had veiled the pole, when the night had covered the earth. Pole means the earth. And in the morning glad I see, and the speaker was happy to discover in the next morning my foe outstretched beneath the tree, because this was an apple which was full of poison. It was a treacherous apple, and this is the venomous apple that the enemy had consumed, thinking that it was a genuine one. In the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. In other words, the poet is trying to say that the enemy became a victim of his fury. The enemy became a victim of his anger, of his poisonous, of the poisonous feelings that the speaker had inside him. The main idea expressed in the poem is that the murderer, that is the speaker, pretends friendship with his antagonist or his foe or his enemy, who, on taking advantage of his superficial affection, superficial or artificial affection, is killed. Ultimately, the enemy dies. With this, I come to the end of this poem. Bye.